Hello, 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 my name is Kiki, and this is Monochrome Pixels. Thinking about cubicles? That's a lot of cubicles. Do businesses still use cubicles? I don't know. I've never had a cubicle. I like to keep it that way. You owe nothing to this company. At first, this phrase opened a wound. You know you're disposable, right? But over time, the more I saw your face, the more that wound swelled into an excruciating, vulnerable infection. As time passed and I got to see your face more and more, the wound opened up wider and wider, becoming exposed. I can replace you, just like that. And eventually, it became infected, so much so that it leached into my brain and traveled its way down to my heart. I should be dead, but here I am, still living. Or am I? After all this time I've spent with you, I question if I'm even still alive. But whenever I see you, I have trouble breathing. I want to run away, but my legs refuse to move. No matter how much I try to break free, my brain is shackled by one command. Don't defy the boss. That was a creepy laugh. Ooh, day one. Hmm? My vision is skewed by my warm and heavy comforter. Tossing it aside, I exposed myself to the cold air moving through my apartment along with the source of the noise. My phone. Oh, my cute little keychain. Is that picky? I used to like this sound 5 years ago, but just like other recent decisions in my life, it eventually soured on me and I've grown to loathe it. It's way too happy. Then again, I tried darker tunes and they had the same effect. So maybe it's just me instead of the psycho engineer who created the cheerful tune. Grabbing my phone, I turned off my alarm and stared up at the ceiling aimlessly. Moogle. I don't want to go to work. I don't want to get up in general. I want to stay in bed, in my very comfortable bed, that I use my bonus on, so that I can stay on my phone, because I sure as hell don't want to go back to sleep. I have to get up and go to work. Damn it, capitalism, and your inability to allow anyone a moment's respite. I bring myself up into a forward lurch and manage to straighten up before my head makes contact with my bed. After getting out, I head over to my small bathroom to make myself look pretty. God, even just thinking about the word leaves an awful taste in my mouth. I leave my bathroom after brushing my teeth and combing my apple-colored hair enough to get straight and unfrizzled. Stepping over a few dirty clothes on the floor, I open my dresser and pick out my outfit. I'm skilled in many things, even if people say I'm not. If there's one thing no one has doubted me for, it's my ability to dress. That should work. Comfortable, but presentable. After doing some final checks, I toss my worn-out purse over my shoulder before grabbing what I need to survive during the downtime, my phone and over-the-ear headphones. Despite everything, these babies still work, and I'm forever grateful for that. Especially the phone. Phones are absurdly priced these days. I hear that. Opening up Peer Music, I start my travel playlist. I track my Shin Megami Tensei Demon Punishment a track from Shin Megami Tensei? Whatever. Begins to play, and I can feel my shoulders relax. My heart slowing to a reasonable pace as the tension seeps out of my body.
You're okay, Diana. You're going to be okay.
Okay, there's voice acting. At least until I get off to the office. After that, well, we'll manage. Turning the handle, I exit my apartment and take the stairs down, making my way to my usual bus stop. Mad Lobster Interactive. Oh, how I didn't miss you during our brief time apart. Even though I'm early, I decided to make a dash for my desk despite a few colleagues greeting me along the way. A painful twinge pulls into my heart when I see them frown or make a sour face. Of course we have a hang in there kitty poster. After putting my stuff down in my cubicle, I settle into my chair and recline into the indent I've made myself. If there's an upside to working here, to which there's at least a feel, it's this office chair. It's somehow more comfortable than my bed, and when I get to the chance to lean back enough, I can feel my body thank me for the brief moment of relaxation. I take off my headphones and let the comforting sound of my music grow faint as I place it on my desk.
Uh-huh.
Okay, what's on today's agenda? Logging into my work computer, I clock in for the day. I'm 5 minutes early. A barrage of messages greet me the moment I open my Slouch and InLook, all related to the current project I'm working on. Dynawind. It's an upcoming free-to-play dark fantasy game with gacha elements. Ugh. It's, coming along. There's a bunch of there's been a number of progress bumps along the road. Our team keeps getting smaller and smaller, which means the workload keeps getting heavier and heavier. 30K a year is nowhere near enough for what I'm doing, but what am I supposed to do about that? I'm hoping the game is received well when it releases in 2 years. It would suck to disappoint our players, especially after the positive response of the reveal trailer. We've all worked too hard on this project for it to fail. At this point, only time will tell. As I'm typing away, answering messages to whoever is sending them my way, a loud ping emits from my phone. A personal email? From who? Oh god, I hope it's not another crypto scam message.
No.
Don't respond back, Diana. It's tempting, the thought of sending a snarky reply so that a crypto bro with broken English gets mad at you for insulting them. As I whispered that to myself, I glance around to make sure that the closest coast is clear before opening up my phone because I don't dare get off task on my work computer. I open my inbox first, dropping my shoulders after reading the first unread email. Interview request about Mad Lobster Interactive. Click the wrong button. It's the journalist again. When will they get the hint that I'm not interested in their interview? Sighing, I shove my phone into my coat pocket. I don't have time for another ping. What did I just say? I don't have time for... Before I take out my phone again, 4 more pings follow in quick succession of each other. No, they're not coming from my phone. They're coming from my PC. A bright red bubble with the number 5 sitting in the corner of the slouch icon is staring right at me. Who could need my attention that urgently? Did something happen? Oh, Red Panda. I pop open the window and glance at the unread direct messages to see who contacted me. And right then and there, my heart drops. 5 messages from Godric. Seconds feel like minutes as I stare at the red bubble next to his name, my stomach turning as I mull over the possibilities. It could be anything, and that's what's frightening. I never know what you'll get with Godric. My hand starts to shake as I drag the mouse closer to his contact. Just going and inspecting the worst, Diana. That's way you won't be disappointed with whatever happens. I brace myself for whatever comes my way before clicking on his messages. Good morning, Diana. I'm reaching out because I have an important matter to discuss with you. Please come into my office pronto. Like, in 3 minutes pronto. Thanks.
What?
An important matter? Wasn't so important that he couldn't even disclose it to me on Slouch. The storm of possibilities rampaging through my mind transform into a single typhoon as I mull over one fact. It's not that he doesn't want to tell me on Slouch, it's that he can't tell me on Slouch. Is it that he wants? Is that supposed to be a turtle? It's cute. As much as I want to figure it out, Godric hates waiting. After all, he wants me in his office in 3 minutes. He wants me in his office in 3 minutes. Does he remember that it takes 5 minutes to get to his office, right? That's a dumb question. Of course he knows that. If Godric were to hear me, I could imagine him saying, "Not with that attitude. Everything can be done a little faster if you put your mind to it." Steeling myself, I barely get up out of my chair and power walk to the elevator, hoping to get there as fast as humanly possible. Some coworkers try to get my attention, but they stop themselves once they realize I'm headed to Godric's office. Their curious expressions become forlorn looks once I pass by them. At least they know. 2.5 minutes later. Jesus Christ. I lean against the wall, panting as I try to catch my breath. I couldn't take the elevator. Assholes closed the door right before I could get on. Somehow, by the grace of God, I managed to run up 2 flights of stairs and get here. I honestly didn't think my legs were capable of that with all the sitting I do. Maybe in another life, I was an Olympic athlete that won multiple gold medals in the 100-meter dash and became a star runner in the 400-meter relay rally. And just like that, I arrive early, exactly how he likes it. I wipe the sweat off my brow before gently knocking on Godric's office door. Come in, come in. His jovial voice pierces through the closed doorway like a sharp key. Granting me entry. I open the door and step into his office. Inside is a scene I don't expect. I see Godric standing next to someone. From the look of it, he's a young fellow with colorful hair and a peppy attire that makes me feel dressed down. Sight of this iridescent stranger eases the tightness in my chest. That doesn't look eased. Though that begs the question, who are they? They certainly don't look like a stockholder or a CEO from another country. Could they be an employee here?
Good morning.
Diana, there you are. Oh, why do you look so scared?
Ha ha!
My, you do know that you're not in trouble, right? Geez, make me look like the devil incarnate with how petrified you look.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I was a bit frantic because you told me to get here urgently within 3 minutes. Godric's eyes widen slightly. He doesn't seem to recall his messages from earlier. Did he really forget about those already? Godric steps away from the young man and walks towards me. On instinct, my body takes a couple of steps back. Being on time is always good. I clicked the wrong button again. But, you know what I always say, Diana? Everything can be done a little faster if you put your mind to it. I was hoping that telling you that this matter was urgent would encourage you to walk with some pep in your step. Your very main message was supposed to be encouraging. How? God, I hate you so much. Godric claps his hands together, bringing the matter to a close.
Chop, chop. Time is money.
Now, we don't have all day to argue about the little things. Let's get to the matter at hand. We can't keep this young man waiting any longer. Giving him back over to the mysterious man like a child hopped up on candy, Guy wraps his arm around their shoulder and pulls them close. Judging by their unwavering smile, the person doesn't seem to mind the close contact.
Diana, this is Enya, our newest junior game designer. Enya, this tardy yet surprisingly efficient senior game designer is Diana.
How are we tardy? We're early. The young man waves at me eagerly, his eyes shining brightly as he looks at me with their affection of a puppy who would give their owner.
Hiya. The name's Enya. Wait, Godric already said that. Anyway, it's nice to meet you, Diana.
I winced at his loud introduction. I wasn't expecting for someone to sound so eager this early, let alone in an office setting.
It's nice to meet you too, Enya. Godric, mind filling me in on what's going on?
What do you think is going on? Brought you in here so I could introduce you to a new employee. There can only be one answer. I want you to mentor Enya. What? Oh, hey, Ghost. Stop attacking my mattress. I know it's a bit last minute, so let me explain. Unfortunately, the employee I originally had in mind to mentor our sweet little Enya left the company. And you know I can't just throw Enya out there without a guide. What kind of boss would do something so heartless? You. So I went through our current list of employees and found that you were the most suitable candidate. Years of experience, a senior in their department, and you know how to handle a heavy workload. That last skill is very important, especially since we're ramping up development of DynaWin. You'll need all hands on deck if you want to complete the project on time. The mentorship starts effective immediately and with lasts for a whole week. By the next week, Enya will be flying solo. With that being said, I hope you can fill in the role. Oh, fuck. Voice concern.
Not this again.
Godric narrows his eyes at me. I feel myself shrink under his sharp and subtle gaze. Yes, Diana? How am I supposed to phrase this with as little pushback as possible?
Listen.
I have my concerns about that.
Excuse me?
Concerns? He looks at Enya, who is still smiling. Godric then looks back at me, eerily mimicking Enya's smile, which sends shivers down my spine.
Oh, whatever are you talking about?
And what exactly are those concerns, Diana? I'm not sure if I can handle mentoring them. Like you said, development on DynaWin is getting more serious, and as a senior member of the project, I've had enough on my plate as it is. I'm implementing assets and features, working on documentation, attending meetings, and reading over scripts. And that's just a fraction of what I'm doing. I really can't handle more than that. Surprisingly, as I was able to finish talking, it felt nice. I think this is the longest I've gotten to talk to Godric without interruption. Maybe he'll reconsider me being Enya's mentor. Maybe he'll find someone else who's less busy. Why isn't Godric just being Enya's mentor? What does Godric do? Or maybe not. My hopes were dashed when Godric's grin became a bit tad wider, being yelled at by a different cat. Hi, Phantom. Godric flicks his index finger up towards the ceiling. However, I'm not the kind of man that wouldn't compensate my employees for their work. Bullshit, you aren't. Once again, Godric leaves Enya's side and strolls up to me, rubbing his hands together as if like a convincing salesman. You know, like the one in The Legend of Zelda's Laura's Mask. What would you like, Enya? You can wish for anything and I'll grant it. As thanks for mentoring Enya. A paid vacation? Not that. Maybe something else? A bonus? Also not possible. Unpaid vacation? Godric pinches the bridge of his nose and lets out a heavy sigh. Okay, you know what? How about this? He's touching us. Godric leans in close, wrapping his arm around my shoulder, preparing to whisper his proposition. I want to squirm out of his hold, but my body just freezes, unable to move. I've been keeping an eye on you and what you do on your computer. If I remember correctly, you took some time out of your ever-so-busy workday to look up a game. And what is it called? The one where everyone walks around a cafe and talk to people? Tea Talk? Yes, that's the one. That's so nice of you to remember. What about if I just get you that game? What do you say? I know. It's such a good offer, and it's coming out of my own pocket, too. It's impossible to say no. Oh, I already know I can't say no. Might as well just say yes and get something out of this before he takes the offer back and gives me the task away. So when can I expect the game? Early next week. Let's shake on that so it's official. Godric holds a free hand out for me to shake. Deal. Uncomfortably, I shake his hand. His grip is tight and firm. It's almost like he does this for a living.
Excellent.
Good. When do we have time to play games? Although you could afford to sound a little more enthusiastic about the deal. But it's fine. It's fine. Godric leaves my side and I feel like I can breathe again. He goes to sit behind his desk. Godric claps his hands together happily.
I expected nothing less from our employee of the month. Huh?
Is that a picture of himself on the wall? Over behind Diana? I knew I could count on you, Diana. Godric gestures Enya to me. Enya, be sure to ask any questions that are on your mind. Oh, and make yourself at home. When you're here, you're family. I roll my eyes. Enya nods. I'm sure the cubicle in front of Diana's is free for the taking. Go ahead and take it. That way you won't need to go far to ask any nail-biting questions you may have. Thank you so much, Godric. Oh, and thank you, Diana, for taking me under your wing. Enya bows. I promise you I won't be a bother. Oh, a bow. I'm a bit jealous. Didn't get that kind of treatment when Enya met me. Don't you feel special, Princess Diana?
Conversation over.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot.
Now go, there's no time to waste. Godric instantly waves us away, directing us towards the door. Have a good rest of your day, Godric. You too, Enya. Enya by both Edric Godric's office. Not even a second later, I see Godric from the corner of my eye sitting at his desk, kicking up his feet on his shiny, expensive wooden desk. Oh, where do I want to go on vacation next? Those were the last words I hear slip out of Godric's mouth before his door closes behind us. From here, we head back to our elevator to the second floor.
That's so cool.
Whoa, that's your cubicle? It's so awesome looking. I love your little figurines and pens. Enya holds his hands together as his eyes gleams with delight. It's weird seeing someone so happy in an office space. Usually everyone else has a neutral face, or if they're like me, they also have a resting bitch face. Yeah, I wouldn't take you to some random person's desk.
Enya.
Anyway, your desk's over there, right in front of mine. I point to the empty cubicle, but Enya's attention remains on my area. Enya? Enya walks up to my desk and admires some of the trinkets I have laying around amongst the clutter. He's eyeing my Final Crystal 7 Reborn figurine, a collector's edition exclusive. No way, you got the Clyde figurine? Can I touch it? The ambitious yet curious glint in their eyes has me feeling a little anxious. Before they can get any closer, I put my arm between them and my precious Clyde figurine.
No.
No, please don't. It's very expensive. Besides, remember why we're here, where we are. We're at work, and yet not at my house. We can't just loiter around looking at stuff.
I'm sorry.
Right, sorry. Before I sit down, I just want you to know you have all your login information, yeah? To slouch and look, etc., etc. I got it all this morning. Good. And the documentation for Dynawin, were you able to read it all? Yep, read it all in the last few days while I was at home.
Good job.
Awesome, so you have a grasp on how everything is going. You'll want to, I'll pause. There's a lot to be done, but as a junior game designer, it'll be wrong to take on such a heavy burden, especially in his first week. I glance towards the menacing clock on the wall. The second hand is moving on without a care in the world, the minute hand slowly following behind it. I have so much I need to get done. Okay, first things first, log on to Slouch, click on the pinned section in the designer chat. There should be a link to Bitsoft teams. Log into that and you'll have an email with a list of tasks for the week from the producer. It might not be much since it's your first week. To be fair, no one was aware that you were even coming, or at least I wasn't. Can do. Enya gives me a tiny salute before turning their attention to the PC. So if they can guide themselves for now. I take a seat at my desk and immediately get to work on replying to some messages I missed while I was meeting with Godric. They're not a lot, but work here can pile on pretty quickly. If I don't catch up on it now, the load will get heavier and heavier. An hour passes, then another hour, and another. It all feels like a long drag as I type away on my keyboard, adding in notes for the programmer and sending out messages for the narrative designer. I still need to work with UI, UX, and see how that's coming along. The lead UI designer sent over some concepts for the event screen, but I have to make sure it matches the document that we had going. That way I can send over proper feedback before moving on to incorporating the first version of the event UI into the game. Diana? I'm gonna drink some water. I know, usually it'd be tea, but I already drank my pot of tea for the day. What did I write down in the design document while collaborating with them? Diana? Scouring through the directory, I scroll through the web page looking for it. Nope. Nope. Not it. Not it. Okay, where are all the composite arts here? They should be back in the art.
Look at me!
Diana! Huh? Oh god. I turn around to the sound of the interruption and come face to face with Enya, who is staring at me with their bottom lip puckered up and their eyebrows arched.
Oh, hey.
What's going on? I, need help? With? I'm a little stuck, or more like I don't know where to start. Is the documentation stuff in regards to the event system? I glance at the clock on my computer. 11:21 a.m. Workday ends at 6. I really don't have time to help Enya, but I can't exactly leave them to fend for themselves. Ugh. Go over and help Enya. If I don't help them, and they do poorly on the task, how will that reflect on me as a mentor, as an employee? What will Godric think? Alright, I can help out.
Really?
Thank you. Enya sits back down at their desk. I grab my wireless mouse before rolling my chair over to their desk and adjusting myself so that I can see the screen. So what exactly are you having trouble with? Is Enya still wearing their bag? They are. They have a chest bag. Or what are they called? When it's a faggy... Whoa, I almost said the wrong word. Fanny pack on your chest. I asked as I moved my mouse around on Enya's desk. I glanced down at the... He glanced down at the mouse, arching his eyebrow. It's a safety measure. Now, what's going on? Oh, okay. Well, anyway, here's what I'm having trouble with. One of my tasks is to analyze games for competing companies and rank down notes on what could work for Dynawin's and Vincent's, but I'm not sure how to go about doing that. Like, do we want to take player feedback into account as well? What kind of rewards should we offer? What tiers? Alternative outfits, new units, side contacts to primary characters? You're thinking 5 steps ahead, Enya. That's what's tripping you up. Just take it into one step at a time. Start simple. Look up similar games to ours and see what they did. An easy way to do that is by searching up some fantasy mobile games. Not dark fantasy? You can, but for right now, it's good to have a broader scope. Okay. I watch as Enya looks up some fantasy games. As they scroll through the search results, I take notice of the colorful items decorating their computer screens. Small sticky notes with doodles on them. I don't recognize any of the characters drawn in though. By times to ask about them, Enya comes up with their own questions. So I found some games that look similar. What now? Well, now you can look up their past event history. My suggestion, look up those fan-made wiki pages. Those have all the nitty-gritty details such as event types, point distributions, and more. Take notes of what companies did and how we may be able to incorporate it into our game, or better yet, put our own spin on it. Gotcha! I think we can step away now. I think Enya's got it. But what do I know? As Enya explores the internet and takes note of their findings, they might myself staring at their sticky notes even once more. I'm being yelled at by a cat again. Hi. Hi, big boy. They have charm, I'll give them that. After spending some time guiding Enya through the document, they're able to muster up a good first draft. Ah, that wasn't so bad. It was really just a bunch of research and analytics. The test list made it seem way more scary and complex than it really was. I was itching my nose. Although, I think I might have had something to do with that. Enya towards me and flashes me a radiant smile, one so warm that it could melt ice caps. Thanks, Diana. I really appreciate your help.
What?
I shake my head. Don't pat yourself on the back, Diana. You're doing the bare minimum. You're doing your job. There's no need to feel good about what you're supposed to be doing. It's just my job. No need to thank me. Enya points at my mouse that I'm still moving about their desk, reminding myself to make sure I don't get clocked for inactivity. Well, it looks like you just took an extra step that most people wouldn't, so I think things are in order. Oh, how about this? Maybe I could treat you to lunch or sometime. Spending time together, huh?
No.
I'm good, thanks.
That's so mean.
Huh. What? How can you say no to free food? Alright, free food. Free food is free food. I just don't do outings, Enya. I appreciate the offer, but I'll need to decline. Okay, but I owe you still. I'll think of something you can agree with, to. I shake my head.
Conversation over.
No, you literally don't owe me. I'm telling you that you don't owe me. Just stop, okay? Move on and focus on work. Oh, okay. I take a seat back at my desk and actually get back to work, doing what I need to do before the day's over. As I'm typing away at my desk, I hear the sounds of shuffling feet and nonsensical chatter, which can mean only one thing. Lunchtime! Enya's jovial proclamation causes me to stumble out of my chair. I look up to see a bright, smiling employee peeking out from the top of his cubicle. Wait, how is he peeking out from the top? Is he standing up on the top of his chair?
Enya.
Get down before you get hurt, please. This isn't a playground. And you're not going to get workers' comp for this place. I'll be fine. I have perfect balance. Enya stumbles backward, his grip on the divider being the only thing that saves him from a minor concussion. See, I'm fine. The fear in your eyes says otherwise, Enya. Enya looks around at some of the remaining employees who are still at their desks working. They glance at Enya and then turn their eyes back to me, fully concerned. You going to lunch, Diana?
Uh-huh.
Yes, why? They bounce a little, the glint in their eye becoming larger and almost unbearably bright. Well, then let's go together. Figured if we couldn't go out and grab lunch, I can comp your lunch in the office cafeteria instead. I hear good things about the food, and it's affordable, so I can definitely get you a meal. You don't have to. Hush. I shall and I will. Do you want me to annoy you till the end of time about this? I will be compensated for helping me. You will be compensated for helping me, whether you like it or not. I don't like the alternative. Alright, I'll accept, but don't think of this as anything more than you buying me a meal. Okay, weird, but I'll accept your terms and conditions. And my cat is throwing up. Enya hops off their desk with a loud, muffled thump onto the office carpet. They then strolled over to me, grinning from ear to ear. Now then, to the cafeteria. Yippee. With Enya by my side, I lean the charge to the cafeteria. Unlike earlier, I managed to catch the elevator, and the both of us squeezed into the little tight space, touching shoulder to shoulder with other hungry employees. Everyone looks at me, and then Enya, confused at who they are. Seems like Godric forgot to tip everyone off about their arrival. Once the elevator door closes, their attention on us dissipates, and some of them even begin to talk to one another about their lives. One of the older male employees asks what he should do for his kid's birthday, if he can get the day off, that is. And younger employees, who seemed to like she came straight out of college, rant about the minor inconveniences that happened to them over the weekend. Someone else talks about their fiancé, ring, as he spoke of them gleefully. Eyeing their ring finger, his stomach aches. My stomach aches, and I bite down on my bottom lip to prevent tears from coming. Thankfully, the elevator door opens and I run out, freeing myself from that suffocating space. Whoa, you okay? Not a fan of tight spaces, Diana? All I can do is nod, and Enya doesn't question me any further as the two of us head towards the cafeteria. Well, there's a story there. Hopefully the food won't upset my stomach any more than it already has. The small cafeteria is bustling with activity as the starving employees look to get a meal to fill their stomachs. Enya pulls me towards the small line, eager to get their lunch.
Look at this! Look!
Wow, this place is pretty nice. You know, I never had a workplace cafeteria before. If I ever wanted to eat somewhere, I had to sit at the back of a store in a cold break room. So this is definitely an upgrade. The cafeteria is a perk, I'll admit. Decent food, plenty of options to fulfill anyone's dietary needs, and affordable. Most studios our size don't even have something like this. As we get to the front of the line, Enya stares up at the menu, wondering what to get. I think I'll get the vegetarian burrito with a side of fries and a lemon soda. What about you, Diana? What are you getting? Remember my treat, so you can get whatever you want. The way you phrase that makes it seem like you're the mentor and I'm the mentee. Let me see. What am I in the mood for? Light and filling. A chicken Caesar salad and a peach juice for me, please. What? Just a salad and a drink? Are you sure? Hey, chicken is an additional $3 charge. I don't want to bleed you dry. Plus, it'll be enough. My doctor told me to eat more salads with protein so I don't feel so tired all the time. As long as you're sure. After Enya pays for both our meals, he looks around for a place to sit. Oh, there's an open table over there. Come on, let's grab it before someone else does. He wants to eat together? That wasn't part of the plan. But I guess it's an unspoken rule of mentoring involves having a meal with your mentee at any given time. How it would reflect upon me if Godric found Enya all by lonesome. Then again, I could easily make it up if I went back to my desk and worked. Surely you wouldn't mind then. But we're already here. I mean, I'd rather get at my desk, but we're already here. I don't protest as Enya points out over to a free table. I begrudgingly follow him and take a seat. I pick up my fork and start playing with my food. Not too long after, I look up at Enya with a wearied eye expression. What do I say? It's been, geez, I can't even remember when I last sat down with someone like this. A casual setting with no work attached. Should have gone back to my
Question.
So, when did you start working here, Diana? You'll know since you're a senior game designer. Since you're a senior game designer and all.
Oh, hey.
7 years ago? Wait, how old are you then?
What?
Has anyone ever told you not to ask a woman her age? Enya stares at me wide-eyed, frozen in place. When Enya.exe reboots, blush creeps up over their face. You're right, I'm so sorry. You know what? Forget I asked. It's fine, Enya. To answer your question, I'm 32. Oh gosh, you're 27. I'm gonna turn 40 this year. So you're 5 years older than me. I just turned 27 this year. I nod, taking a bite of my food. Well, happy belated birthday, Enya. Thanks. Conversation dies down and back to where sitting is in comfortable silence, at least for me, that is. Enya doesn't seem to mind the pause in the conversation, for how they're bouncing around and smiling. I should ask him something. Kiki.exe failed. Favorite game is a hard question. What did you do before this? Enya shrugs. Oh, nothing exciting. Worked as a gas station cashier for 5 years and an art store specialist since I was 18. So no prior game experience? No professional game experience. I've made games in my spare time, but nothing AAA or AA. Well then, Enya is smiling. The far-off look in their eye tells a different story, a familiar one. Honestly, I didn't think I was going to get this job. Compared to everyone else, I felt so inexperienced and unworthy. Yeah, the game industry is incredibly competitive. It's so hard to get a job anywhere. Even for a junior position, you need a pretty impressive resume. Oh, why am I so yawny? If you want to stand out, it can feel like a game of Lexa at times. Yeah. If it makes you feel any better, it took me like hundreds of rejections before I got here. It's like that pretty much everywhere, but hey, you made it, right? At the end of the day, that's what matters. A glint in Enya's eye returns. Yeah, you're right. It's like they said, it's not about how you get there, it's about making it in the first place. I'm like at least 80% sure that's not the saying, nor is that the sentence I just read. But I don't dare break the news to Enya. For the rest of our time together, Enya and I talk about the job, small details to help them get acclimated. Although I don't have the heart to tell them everything. About 20 minutes later, Enya and I head back up to the office and get back to work. We're still chatting, but this time about mundane things I hear other people in the office talk about. Maybe spending time with Enya wasn't such a bad idea after all. What the hell am I saying? I can't let myself get too close to Enya. As long as I know them, they're just co-workers, nothing more. I close out an early preview of some event gameplay for Dynawin. There's plenty of room for fine-tuning, especially with the SFX and the battle system. I'll have to make a note of that. But for now, it's time to head home. I'm not getting paid overtime after all. I'm not repeating last Friday. Nope, not doing it. With a freshly peeled sticky note and pen, I jot down a reminder for myself. Send SFX feedback to sound design, review battle system with gameplay designer.
Diana!
Diana, are you leaving? I look up to see Enya poking their head out from their cubicle, staring at me with a soft smile. Yeah, I'm about to. Just writing a reminder to myself of what I need to get done. That's smart. Yeah, it's always good to have a physical reminder because I may end up forgetting otherwise. Enya nods while making a sticky note to write that down. Note to self, write more things down on a sticky note so you don't forget.
Uh-huh.
You know, you didn't have to write that down, yeah? Well, if what you're saying is true, then I'll need to make a physical reminder to make more physical reminders. Sound of the adhesive taps my ear as Enya places the sticky note on the computer monitor somewhere. And done. Now I won't forget. Alrighty then. I get up out of my chair to stretch a bit, and it doesn't take long before I start feeling the aches in my muscles. Ugh, that hurt. I throw all my stuff into a bag before taking my headphones out from the desk drawer and putting them on. The calming melody of T-Talk soundtrack greets my ears. Walking to the beat of music, I slowly make my way toward the elevator with Enya in tow. However, he doesn't say a word despite the way his intenser flickers between me and what's ahead. We eventually get to the ground floor. Enya runs out ahead to the exit, but not before turning back to wave to me. I don't wave back. Strangely, his smile doesn't fade, sending a sharp pang through my heart. I look down at my phone. It's a black screen giving me a close-up of a reflection of myself. It's the same tired reflection that I see every morning before I head to work. It's the same one I see before I go to bed every night. I drift upward at the exit Enya has left through. I shoved my phone back in my pocket and quickly exited the office building, preparing myself for the same corporate song and dance I have to endure tomorrow. As soon as I stepped into my apartment, I heaved out a heavy sigh with some of the pressure easing off my shoulders. I tossed my purse onto the kitchen counter and slumped over to my bed, falling back onto it and taking in its comfortable embrace. There's so much of that needs to be done. There's so much that I want to do, but my body is screaming at me for some rest. I don't think I'll ever get back to my dream backlog. Over 50 games that I was looking forward to playing, now collecting virtual dust on my computer. Oh, I hear that. My eyes flutter shut as the last bit of energy fades away, and I reluctantly give in to sleep. Do we only ever eat lunch? Ah! I'm awake! I sit up immediately and look around. Thank God I'm still in my apartment and not in my cubicle. From the side, I see a bright green light flickering on my phone screen. Seemed like I got a work message. I reluctantly tap on my phone, opens the unread slouch message. It's from Godric, and it looks like he sent me a short essay. The grip on my phone tightens as my vision blurs as Godric's words become a large white blob of nothing. You need to read it, Diana. It can't be that bad, can it? I take a moment to breathe and whisper words of reassurance, my heartbeat slowing to a quiet, nervous rhythm. I start reading Godric's message. Diana, I wanted to speak with you at the end of the workday, but it seems that you ran off before I had a chance to say anything. Just wanted to say that I hope you can teach Enya the way things work around at Mad Lobster. He's new here, which means he's likely to screw up on the job, and that leads to issues. We don't want that, do we? So make sure you're a good mentor and employee during Enya's first week here so we don't run into any unnecessary problems. If you don't, well...
It's not me who you'll let down. It's everyone else on the team.
What an ass. Godric's voice echoes in my head as I read his last sentence. It delivers a devastating gut punch to the stomach, something I should be used to by now. I want to throw up. But instead, I type up a reply. Understood, Godric. Closing slouch, I open up my calendar and add one task to my already long list. Mentor Enya. I close my phone and toss it to the side before mustering up the strength to change out of my work attire and into my cozy pajamas. Pajamas. It's not long after I sneak up under my covers that Godric's words are infiltrating my mind, invading what is usually my sanctuary away from the outside world. I hug my knees tightly, staring at the wall until my body gives out once again and embraces the lonesome darkness.